In Yangon, food and drink doesn't shout, it whispers. Sometimes behind an unmarked door, sometimes under a tarp next to a shrine. I walked into places with no menu, sat beside counters of curries I couldn't name, and tasted dishes I'd never seen. Each one challenging what I thought I knew about Southeast Asian food. One spot is loved by locals, another being named by Asia's 50 best. But forget about the list for a second, because here, it's not about chasing the best. It's about stumbling into flavors that surprise you. This is a different kind of food tour, less polished, more instinctive, and full of moments you can't plan for.
Starting my day in Yangon with a meal at this street food setup, holes on the wall, small restaurants. The name I cannot pronounce, but there it is, and it serves all kinds of small curries, one of my favorites. I always like the way to eat all this type of small dishes. Since this is not my first time, not my second time, and not even my third time in Myanmar, I already know a little bit about some of the dishes. So here we have chicken curry, and this one looks like potato as well.
It's chicken and potato.
Yes, it is. Classic Burmese curry. And you got that curry powder flavor from this. They definitely use that as seasoning. The one that has more like turmeric, celery seeds, some fenugreek in it. Now let's get some prawn curry. As you can see, this place is such a hole on the wall. The table is not even straight. It is a little inclined, but it's all about the food. We have prawn here. We have some leaves, tomato, slightly sour fermented flavor from this leaf. I think this is gongura leaf. This is a different prawn curry than some of the versions I had before. So even for prawn curry, there are many different versions. Still pretty good. Aromatic, a little spicy. Slightly sour and umami. Some extra rice. Small bones. Prawn curry is always one of my favorite, no matter the version. Now we have some fish curry. This one is more of a thin curry, almost a little soupy with tomato. And this one, I think maybe, I don't know this vegetable. Let me try this. The inside tastes a little bit like sigua, like a Chinese gourd, so gourd. But outside is so fibrous, it's almost a little chewy. Well, the outside is almost like yuca, and the inside is like so gourd. I have no idea what that is. Well, it turns out the way I eat it is wrong. You don't eat it like that. You need to cut it open and eat the pulp only. That's why the outer shell is not for eating. Interesting. Just the inside pulp, which tastes like a gourd. And the outside, this shell is to be discarded. This thing is called tenderloin, and I have never had it before. And some of the inside even have this small little seed. The seed is almost the size of bigger lentils. Now onto the fish. Many small bones in there. I can already see, like, that's one small bones. I mean, there's more than one. This one, the taste is a bit more basic, just like tomato-y. Some basic seasoning, garlic, ginger type of thing. They might have used a tad of turmeric for the color. The meat is actually very tender. The meat is good. And there's always this platter of all kinds of fresh fruits. Eggplant, cucumber, carrots, all that stuff. And this dipping sauce, I don't know if you call it dipping sauce, but this thing is spicy and fermented, like shrimp paste type of flavor. Okay, this version is actually not so much of the fermentation. You still have a bit, but it's more spicy. Actually, Burmese food is really spicy. When it comes to some of the varieties that use a lot of chili, for me, I'll stick with the prawn curry. First meal finished. Good. I'm visiting my first bar in Yangon ever, and this one is called the Blind Tiger. The cocktail scene in Myanmar in general has been pretty young, but Blind Tiger is pretty much at the forefront of all these things. And they have some pretty good cocktails, as I've heard, so I come to try them. As you can see, the power situation in Yangon is not too stable, so as the bartender was making the cocktail, the power gets cut off, so now we're on generator, so there's a little bit of noise coming from the background. But here, this one, we have honey bunny, bourbon, cocoa, egg white, point true, lime, and simple syrup. So this is like a chocolate in cocktail form with honey. It's good. It's a bit refreshing. You actually got the lime syrupy flavor coming through first, subtle juice from egg white, and then you have a little bit of this chocolate flavor coming through later. It's actually very well structured, because when we were talking about flavor in different layers, it's really about the size of the molecule. So when you have smaller molecules like the limes and the syrup, you taste the sweetness first. Then the chocolates tend to have a bigger molecule, so that's why you taste that flavor later on. So it's like well structured, well layered flavor, which I do like quite a bit. Moving on, the second cocktail, this is called Altar, a very signature cocktail here, and also very Burmese influenced, because the bartender is ethnic Hmong, and from his state they celebrate Altar Tenyan. Tenyan is basically a water festival, and this one has connection to that. And this one uses Bacardi, Oro, sweet rice, dry vermouth, lime, and candle scented water. So we have the base liquor here, this sweet rice. Sweet rice wine, I like that. So this is part of this. Wow, that is really good. You have the sweet rice, like the subtle sweetness, subtle sourness from the lime coming through, really refreshing. But you also have this vermouth, this little bitterness in it, ever so slightly, that kind of permeate your mouth. But it's not too much, and at the same time you have this like this overall sweet scent. Oh, I didn't know Yangon has good bars like this one. I mean, this is definitely one of the better ones I have. And I know because World's 50 Best Bars, they didn't really enter Myanmar. This should be on the list somewhere. All these two, at least I had so far, really creative and well structured. We have quite a few base liquor here. This is something I asked to try because they have like a local Burmese spirit. Everything is in Burmese, and this is like a cross between soju and sake. It's exactly like that. And also this one is like, well, 14.5 alcohol, so it's a little high. Here we have another spirit from Kachin state, made with sticky rice. Ooh. This is almost like baijiu type of high alcohol. I'm talking about like maybe like 40%.
I think over the 40%.
Over 40%. With a few rounds of cocktail in my belly, I need something to counter a little bit, so I have a bar food. They have a good amount of bar food selection, traditional Burmese, and this one I have is Kachin style mushroom salad. So Kachin is north of Myanmar, right? Kachin people, and they're the same as the Jimpo people in Chinese in Yunnan. They share the same ancestry, basically the same ethnicities, but just different names. Smells a little herbal and earthy. I like it. The mushroom is really meaty, sweet, herbal, earthy, a little spicy with a special spice. One of the very unique bar food, and I like it. This is another bar food, pounded mutton with Kachin spice. Also a Kachin dish, so as you can see all these like dried meat shrimp, almost jerky-like, is pounded mutton. It tastes like dry mutton jerky, but not too dry, but still chewy. And you have a almost soy sauce like umami flavor. A bit of spice, maybe like black peppercorn, star anise, that type of thing, but quite subtle when it comes in combination. This one is quite different from the other bar food. That one is more herbal, nutty. This one is a bit more savory, a little umami. In Chinese, we call this 下酒菜, so the dish to go with wine. In this case, exactly what that is, right? We have the cocktail, and we have the bar food. A little salty, which is needed to counter all that alcohol. And here, next one, we have this Kaya Lady, gin, matka spice, lime, contru, simple syrup, and umbellifers. This one, like, immediately you smell the herbal notes to it. Sawtooth coriander, right? And with some spice here, then that's the matka spice. Well balanced. A hint of the spicy heat peppering through this cocktail. I never had any cocktail of Burmese influence before. I guess this is my first experience. It's quite good. I like this bar. So that's pretty much the experience in this bar. I like all the cocktails. And also, by the way, the cocktail here is a really good price, 12,000 Jap. So if you get it from the black market rate, you're looking at less than $4 per glass of cocktail. That's kind of insane. But hey, it's Myanmar.
For today's meal, I decided to eat at this restaurant called Shan Kitchen. It serves Shan food, so Burmese food of the Shan state. This restaurant is featured on World's 50 Best Essence of Asia, so it highlights some of the local restaurants with like unique cuisine and good quality food, and this is one of that. So today I'm trying Shan food, not my first time, and this one here we have is called sichak, yellow noodle with chicken. I always try to order something different every time I go, and this is one of the items I haven't tried before. So far it just looks like yellow noodle with some chicken in it, and the sauce goes with the noodle. Let's see what this thing is about. The noodle is soaked with some chicken flavor oil, so you get a little bit of chicken aroma from the noodle itself. The strength is nice. Chicken shreds here. Chicken is chicken. But I think this is really about the noodle that just has some aroma from the chicken fat. I have the sauce. I think I'm gonna add a little bit to it. This sauce is to pair with this noodle. Looks like some kind of sweet sour, almost Thai style sauce. Look, exactly that. Sweet sour and spicy. Quite spicy in fact. It's simple food, but it's good. Next one, this is something I have never had before. This is called fried cow boat. So basically pounded sticky rice with black sesame. A Shan food item. Never had it before. Gooey and fluffy, slightly crispy. So this is the mixture of glutinous rice and black sesame. It's a homogeneous texture, so as you can see the inside is also black, so pounded sticky rice, black sesame mixed in together and then fried. We have a dipping of sugar and more sesame. I feel like the dipping didn't add much flavor to it because that's pretty much the flavor of the sticky rice thing itself. The sugar just add a little bit of sweetness to it. Interesting. And I feel like this entire plate can be actually quite filling if you finish them all. Moving on, next dish, we have this thing's called shut tameng. I had this once before. Basically, yellow rice with chicken and tomato sauce on top. It's like a rice pancake, a rice cake. Sticky rice with a little bit of turmeric, tomato paste, and chicken chili. This is probably spicy, so I'm gonna try a small bit. Well, it is spicy. I'm glad that I didn't try too much. Fried peanuts. Again, a simple dish, but unique. This thing kind of tastes like the jargon, like a fishy grass, but not very strong. Not sure if it's the same thing. This is a chicken rice dish in one. For this meal, I'm eating at a restaurant called On. It is a very popular restaurant among the locals. As you can see, there are many people. It's an open air setting. It is a little hot with no AC, but that's kind of like the case for most of the restaurants here in Myanmar. And I'm here for the food. Anyways, this restaurant looks interesting. Never dine in one of those settings, open air with a lot of people everywhere. They even have some shrines there. So I just have some food here, 2 items. This is mutton curry and the other one is fried chicken. So let's try the mutton curry first. Really good. All the curries in Myanmar are pretty good. I like those. I feel like this one is very similar to the Bangladeshi style curry.
You have the lamb flavor coming through, aromatic spice, some oil, but not chili oil, just oil with some red chili in it, and all the spices, masala. Some chopped chili as well. This very deep and rich masala flavor, cumin, peppercorn, clove. Some gravy. This goes perfectly with the rice. And we have some paste here, chili paste of different colors. I think they are very spicy. I'm just gonna try a tiny bit. Chili paste with, I don't know if it's like chickpea or some potato. The red one is more like a dry fish, savory umami, and the green one is more spicy. And we have the soup. Okay. Classic soup everywhere. I think this is water spinach maybe, and the soup is always slightly sour. Now let's have the fried chicken. Everything is with spoon.
You tried it?
Yes, I tried these too. They're the same, right?
Which one is better?
They're different. This is more spicy. This is more savory and umami because this thing I think has maybe fish or pork, like floss. The other one is potato. Fried chicken, to be honest, is a little dry. I prefer the curry better. But I feel like maybe that's just the style the local people do it. Maybe they didn't care too much about the doneness. Because I had a few fried chicken before. They all tend to be a little bit over fried, a little dry. But some of the grilled chicken is really good. I mean, I haven't had enough, so I can't really say. But for this restaurant, at least I like their curry very much. And of course, we always have the plate of vegetables. Just grabbing by the hands. Is this like maybe green mango? Tastes like eggplant. Like raw eggplant in terms of texture, but it has the green apple taste in it. I guess it's green mango because I know there are a lot of like mango parts in Burmese cuisine, mango roots, leaves, things like that I had before. So I'm guessing eggplant. These are all just raw, fresh vegetables. And there's always more rice. I think Burmese food is also very much a rice culture. The lamb is definitely one of my favorites here. Not like I order a lot, but this does stand out throughout my trip. Now I think that's pretty much it for this video. I show you 4 places in Myanmar that no tourist ever goes. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.